What is going on, Mad Spideyverse? Yeah, it is your boy here, Mad Spidey, doing a Mad Mail call live. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be screaming Mad Mail call, or maybe I will. But yeah, I doing another deal with one of my good mates who's a seller on our Australian Facebook comic groups. I keep going to say marketplace, but it's not marketplace. It's they're like private groups, obviously, that you can join on Facebook, like buy and sell groups and things like that. If you know my channel, I've been around for a while. You would have seen quite a few of these. Sometimes I do them pre-recorded. I generally, when it comes from my mate Michael from Sydney, it is usually, I try and do them live because it's usually a decent stack of books, you know. Like, obviously, if it was only 10 or 15 books, I'd probably just do it pre-recorded. But this time, definitely anything more than that, then I'd try and do it live when I have the time. So before I get into anything else, we'll say a quick hello to the chat. Do have my boy Jean Malo. I hope you're doing well, brother. Take that, Les Crucius. Well, Les Crucius isn't even in here. It's all you, Gene. So I appreciate it, mate. I've I know what's in there, but obviously forgetting to exactly what's in there. But you will see a definite theme. It is pretty much only 3 titles, and 90% of it is 2 different titles. So, but this is quite a sizable box. Obviously, the thumbnail I reused a picture I already had of me lifting a heavy box, but you get the gist, in other words. But so pretty much, like, when it comes to, like, everybody, you know, anybody who sort of knows me, knows my channel, knows I don't get a lot of packages sent to me. I generally sort of, when I go to places, I buy stuff, then I do a haul and stuff like that. But actual mail-wise, I don't get a lot delivered to my house. You know, like a lot of guys, you know, that's most of their content. Weekly boxes every single week. That's not me. Occasionally, you know, I might get 2 or 3 in a week and then do a couple of Mad Mail calls, or I'll store them up or whichever. I can see Vogsy's jumped in. Hope you're doing well, mate. But yeah, when it's sort of when something does, you know, arrive, I usually prefer to try and do it straight away, because half the time I forget, you know, what's in there and all that sort of stuff. But it is what it is. Christina, I hope you're doing well. Hope the family's well. But yeah, so it's no, Will, no. But let's start getting into it, because otherwise, you know, this is going to drag on for a while. See if I can get into this. We all know how I do it. Always full unboxing, and obviously live. You know, there's no editing and tricks. I just noticed on my t-shirt that I've got a bit of chocolate on there. That's always good to say. Popping in to say 72 hours from now, I'll check out. I appreciate it, brother. Even if you're just dropping in for a quick second, I appreciate it all the time. All the same, should I say. All right, so let's get into this. All right. Get the wrapping out of the way. Now, I do have a couple of cats sitting around me, so whether they interrupt this or jump over the thing, I can understand that. Yes, please, if you can, please hit the thumbs up. Now, one thing Michael loves to do, actually, I might do this. That one? Yeah, that's a bit better. He does love to throw in like a little extra bonus of just some cards. Thanks, Will. I appreciate that. He does love to throw in some little extras. So we'll see if he's actually given me all Marvel cards this time, because last time he threw like a Pokemon card in and some weird indie card, and I'm just like, not really me, but it is the thought that counts. It's just that little extra touch that sort of, makes him such a good seller. So what's going on, Ruby G? Hope you're doing well, brother. Christina Dibs. All right, so that's a big boy. So that's from the 2022 Flair Ultra Avengers set. And you got Hulkling. As you can see, that's a very thick card stock one. So if you're just tuning in, these are just little added bonuses. Nothing that's actually part of the deal itself. Just something to say thank you. Oh, God, Gene, are you still watching? I can't believe I found that he's put this in here. I believe this is from the first set, so that's X-Men versus Magneto. It's not this card, Jen, it's the next one. Famous Battles. I believe that's from the Marvel Universe Series 1, I think. 1 or 2. I think it's 1. Oh, that's a cool card. I don't know why he put this in here, but Jane, if you're watching still, it's a Vampirella card. It must be from that Vampirella set that I was telling you about. That's pretty cool. And lucky last, this is from the 94, I think, Flair set. Maximum Carnage. That is cool. Yep, other way. All right. Yeah, so some nice little, so one out of 4 ain't bad. All right. So yeah, as I said, just a little added extra bonus, little cool bonus. Just to say sort of thank you for buying from him. Chan and Papa would have been all over that. Yeah, Jane because he loves Vampirella and Papa because he's a filthy bastard. No, just joking. All right. So let's get into the main event. All right. So I know as soon as I put this box on the ground, one of the cats is probably going to get in it, but we'll see. So we have 2 full stacks of books. Now I do have some notes with me because my mind's a bit foggy at the moment. Your last video I thoroughly enjoyed. Would spend hours at that shop. Yeah, there is. That's the one thing I wanted to try and do. Will was try and do some like out in the road type things while I was, while I'm away from work. Try to do some shop tours or shopping with Spidey, obviously. The only problem is that it's stinking hot this week. When I did that, it was a nice cool day, but yeah, from today, or basically the next 3 days, for the Fahrenheit people, it's going to be up in the late 90s, early 100s. So yeah, bloody hot. But let's see. Oh. He does pack these very well. Now, has he used pull tabs this time? Hey, somebody finally listens to me. Let's say use pull tabs. All right. So makes it a lot easier. Now, obviously, all these books, Silver Age, yeah, they are all Silver Age. I was just trying to double check. I made the thumbnail huge Silver Age thing, and I'm pretty sure they're all Silver Age. Might be a couple teetering on Bronze Age, but I think majority of them are Silver Age. Oopsie. Now, obviously, they'll all be low grade because that's how I collect, because that's what I can afford. I did say, please don't rub it in the stick. Trust me, Jade, I would rather be there in the cold. You don't want to be an Australian 40-degree day. Trust me, you do not want to be. I don't care how much you love the heat. It is still uncomfortable regardless. Kenny Bird, hope you're doing well, mate. You off of work? I'm off work next 3 days. Oh, nice, Will. Nice. All right. So let's get into the first stack. All right. So as I said, you're going to see a bit of a theme. All right. So we do have Fantastic Four. Whoops. Where's the glare part? 31. Trying to get rid of that glare. So this is first Dr. Franklin Richards. So that is Sue and Johnny's father. Not Pedro Christina. You're obsessed. But yeah, first, and there's a Mole Man appearance there as well, as you can see. But as I said, you're going to see a bit of a theme going on here. All right, so we have Fantastic Four issue 37. It's pretty cool with a quite dark and purple. I'd say this would be a quite hard one to get in a higher grade, I would say. So this is first appearance of Anel, I think it is, which is a member of Skrull royalty. I can't remember whether Queen or Princess or something like that, but I remember she being the Skull royalty. So just a very tiny minor key. Yeah, we have Fantastic Four issue 42. Some classic FF fighting there. Bit of 1v1 going on the cover there. Now this is one I definitely wanted to try and lock down. Like, it's not a big book in any case, but it is a key. It is a second appearance, but it is FF53. So this is the first appearance of Claw. If you remember in the MCU movies, obviously Claw is played by Andy Serkis. It obviously does not look anything like the comic book version. But the other big key part about this is it is the second appearance of Black Panther, and also the first appearance of T'Chaka, which is actually Black Panther's father, who was obviously another Black Panther. But yeah, I was very, very happy that when Michael reached out to me, this was in that pile, because I am amassing quite a bit of a Fantastic Four run, especially the sort of the first 100 issues. So super glad that was in there. All right, Fantastic Four issue 78. Classic Jack Kirby there. A lot of glare. Maybe I should have left the light off. My dad's friend gave me FF66, 61 as gifts in Raw, not in great condition, but happy. Yeah, always good to, you're getting it for free, Will, so. Roscoe! Hope you're doing well, brother. All right, we got Fantastic Four issue 84. Another classic Jack Kirby cover, and obviously anything with Doom on it at the moment, doesn't matter whether he's in the story, just on the cover or anything like that, is obviously going to be getting a little bit of spec in the next 11 months, obviously because of Avengers Doomsday. So even if it's only a $10 book, it may go up to $15 or something like that. But, I'm not here for spec, but just thought I'd mention it. So we had T'Chaka, then T'Challa, so it's T'Challa. No, it was Shuri after that, if my memory serves me correct. All right. So this doesn't really look like a low grade. This actually looks like more of a mid grade. Actually looks kind of cleanish. So Fantastic Four issue 85. Obviously, a lot of the FF stuff was done by Jack Kirby in the Silver Age. Not all of it, but a lot of it was. Do love me some Jack Kirby art. Yeah, as I said, like that's actually, but for me, that's actually quite clean. So I would classify that as a mid-grade. Obviously, there's a little bit of, tiny bit of staining and stuff in certain points. Probably slightly rounded edges, but yeah, actually, like obviously it's not a key issue or anything like that by any kind of chance. At the end of the alphabet, we'll have T'Challa. Oh my god. The main villain in Doomsday will not be Doom, will be a person named Day. Either man, Monday, oh god. Nice try, Will. Nice try. So we do have Fantastic Four issue 89, The Madness of the Mole Man. But yeah, very, very busy cover there. You wait and see. Well, they keep dropping so many, teasers and hints and all that sort of stuff. It's it's going to be interesting. All right, Fantastic Four man. Fantastic Four man. The Fantastic Four, the monsters from the Lost Lagoon. So issue 97. Yeah, FF's not as popular as a lot of other runs, Roscoe. But yeah, like if you literally stack up the amount of keys or big boy books in any of the Silver Age Marvel stuff, I think Spidey and Fantastic Four are probably the two main ones. Obviously, it's a little bit harder with, a lot of them get broken up. Like Hulk went 6 issues, then went to Tales to Astonish. Tales of Suspense, and then obviously then later on it branched off to Captain America 100 and Submariner 1. And then obviously Hulk restarted, Iron Man started his own one later on as well. So yeah, it was a bit, sort of confusing around the Silver Age, but it is what it is. All right, now can I keep going with the same theme, or is he okay? So he seems to have mixed it up a little bit. So just need to change over my notes because, as I said, I can't. There's a lot of information on a lot of these, so I can't remember everything. Yeah, I like, me, Gene, like I'm a low grade guy every day, all day, and usually they're sort of pretty ratty and things like that, but that's the way I can afford these sort of books. One of my favorite ones I own is the one with Galactus half face and Skull half face. Oh, yep, I know the issue you're talking about now. So the other major book series that is in this, so as I said, like there's 2 major book series, is the majority of this, and then there's a couple of issues from a third series, which I don't have a lot of these, but obviously now I do, is Strange Tales. So this one is Strange Tales 146, which is the first team appearance of AIM. So advanced idea mechanics or something like that. But yeah, the guys in the yellow suits. It is their first team appearance in this book. It is also the first cover appearance of Eternity, if you can call that a cover appearance. He's just sort of big black blob there, pretty much. I believe this is his second appearance too, not his first appearance in comics. But first cover appearance, definitely, and first AIM. Let me get a sip of my coffee. All right. Strange Tales, issue 149. Which I don't believe there's any I was actually surprised at how many of the Strange Tales actually had some key elements to them. But yeah, another very busy cover. Yeah, there's an occasional sort of like somebody's written their name on it and stuff like that, and obviously a lot of these. But I'm sort of looking at them, and a lot of these, like a few ticks and things like that. But they're actually in pretty reasonable shape, which I was very surprised. Like he did say, most of these were sort of low grade. You could tell this one's low grade, that's for sure. Low, the Eggshell Hatch. So Strange Tales issue 145. Trying to get away from that glare. The problem is if I turn the light off, it'll probably be too dark to see the books then. Strange Tales issue 153. I did love red covers back in the Silver Age a lot too. Red and yellow. Actually, there was a lot of spaces of time. In the Golden Age, they loved that sort of stuff too. All right, so Strange Tale. You can tell this one's low grade because the top of the book's all chewed up, but that's all good. So he knows that I only collect complete issues, so he makes sure that they are complete from back to front before he, tells me this is up for grabs. So Strange Tales issue 155. That would also be quite hard if you wanted to try and get that in a higher grade, obviously being a very dark cover. So Strange Tales issue 157. And I believe we're not gonna get into the debate, but this is the first cameo appearance of the Living Tribunal. Obviously, they love their cameos and full appearances. At the end of the day, first is first. But they do classify this as first cameo. So I don't know, because they're probably not, because they're not big boy books or anything like that. I don't know whether there's a massive difference between first and second, or cameo and full. But yeah. Strange Tales issue 159, featuring the great Captain America. Now, let's see if I can remember her name. This is the first appearance. Now, it's a freaking long name. I have written it down somewhere. So this is the first appearance of Contessa Valentina Allegro di Fontaine. So that is the character that Julia Dreyfus played in the MCU. And it is also the what was it again? It's also the first appearance or first cameo appearance of Jacob Fury, Nick Fury's brother, who later becomes, I think it's part of the Serpent Society, I think. Yeah, first appearance of yeah, they like what Peter Parker, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, they love that sort of, Stan Lee loved that sort of, the double letter stuff and easy names and things like that, and then they come up with Contessa, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I can't remember. Jacob Fury becomes, I can't remember his. I'm pretty sure it becomes part of the Serpent Society. One of the snake names. I can't remember which one it is. So we've got Strange Tales issue 161. Definitely tell that is a lower grade. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the full history behind this, but I know this is the first Yellow Claw, which is that character there. Now, they're saying it's the first Yellow Claw in the Silver Age, so maybe he might have been maybe in a timely book with a Captain America or Namor or something like that, possibly. I didn't go that far. He is Scorpio. Thank you, Vogsy, for Googling it for me. Member of Zodiac, not Serpent Society. Look at you, Vogsy, doing Google and stuff for me. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, brother, I hope you're doing well, mate. I know you love my my back issue hauls. Yeah, I had to Google it. Yeah, I couldn't remember, but thank you, Vogsy. I appreciate that. That's great help. But yeah, apparently he was in the golden age at some point. So whether it was a character that was brought over maybe from DC even, which doesn't happen very often, but alrighty. We'll leave that one till later. Actually, now I realise that it's actually, and this is the funny thing, because he's like, oh, Strange Tales this number, Strange Tales. And I'm like, Strange Tales ends at this number. So what's going on here? And what I didn't realise is that once Strange Tales finishes, it just becomes Doctor Strange. So I'm like, oh, that's the, first appearance of this or first appearance of that person or whatever like that. I'm like, oh, hang on a sec. So I looked at the pictures and went, no, it's actually Doctor Strange. So I do have a slightly, and here goes the cat into the box, right on top of the bubble wrap. I do have quite a decent collection of the Doctor Strange books from the Silver and the Bronze Age. Stop popping bubbles, cat. So it's actually cool to, get some ones that I haven't got. So this is Doctor Strange. So this would be classified as first volume Doctor Strange, which only ran for, I believe it was like 15 issues. And then they went to like a brand new number one. But that is Doctor Strange 175. Rogie, stop it. Hey. Now she's chewing the box. I don't think there was any... Okay, so 175 is the first cover appearance of Clea, even though you can only just see her there. And it is also the first team appearance of Sons of Satanish. Now, Satanish was the father of Damon Hellstrom and Satana. So, Son of Satan and Satana. So a nice, cool little addition there to the collection. Doctor Strange. Now I have a cat chewing on a box and sitting in the box. Hey, stop that. You're not helping. Doctor Strange 171. That's a very cool looking cover. It was a bit of, I don't know whether this was a Kirby. It's not really Kirby Crackle. I was going to say it almost looked like Kirby Crackle for a second then. Laugh out loud, cat. Yeah, they're nut bags. All right, so they're actually still calling this one. So this is still a Strange Tales book, even though it's only featuring real. Oh no, it says and Nick Fury. All right, so Strange Tales 164, but you can see the transition they were going to. Because you got the Strange Tales, big Doctor Strange, and then Nick Fury in little writing. My cat used to love and sleep on top of some of my comic book boxes. Hey, what's going on, 22? Hope you're doing well, brother. I was hoping either maybe you or Digger Jim or something would pop up in the chat and notice that. But yeah, very good pickup there. So Strange Tales 164. And this is the first appearance of, I can't remember his name, was it Yandroth or Yandrath or something like that? That dude there, a scientist, an alien being scientist. Hey, what's going on, Ryan? Hope you're doing well, mate. All right, so if you're just joining, I'm literally going through a big back issue deal that I did with a mate from a Facebook Australian Facebook comic group. I've already gone through a few books, as you can see, and I'm waiting for the usual comment of oh, can you start over again? There is a thing called a rewind. But all right, so this is a slightly older Strange Tales book. So we got Strange Tales 124, which is the first mention of Sitarak. So obviously, if you know, like the Crimson Bands with Juggernaut and things like that, very magic based. What's going on, Jeff? Hope you're doing well, mate. Yes, please, if you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up. Silver Edge Doctrine is right up my alley. I'm going to have to watch the beginning. There was only a couple of Doc Strange books, but yeah, plenty of Strange Tales books. Majority Nick Fury stuff. But yeah, a couple of later editions with the Doc Strange stuff. So very, very cool. Speaking of Doc Strange, so Strange Tales issue 133. Very, very cool. Strange Tales issue 136. Yeah, that's what I said. They love their red and yellow covers. But this is the 136. Yeah, so this is the second team appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D. All right. Every time I see this cover, I always think of Ram Man from He-Man. It's just the stockiness and the helmet, and it looks a bit like Ram Man. But Strange Tales issue 141. But as you can see, yeah, he looks a little bit like Ram Man from He-Man. But yeah, issue 141 is the first appearance of a couple of villains. One is Mentello, and the other one is the Fixer. So just some C/D grade list villains that probably don't appear too much more. All right, so that is the first pile. Already been half an hour, and I've only been through the first pile. Excuse me. So I can see Magic Lasso must be doing a 1K giveaway, which Christina has graciously put his channel link in there. So yeah, go and check out the video. I'll be doing that after this. And yeah, go show him some love. And obviously, if you have not subscribed to Magic Lasso, he's an OG boy. He's been around longer than I have. Please go and give him some love. And yeah, and also I saw, and my boy Jeff, 17 away from 100. Let's get him up to that 100 as well. If you're not already subscribed to Jeff, can you please do so? I greatly appreciate it. Silver Age, Jeff Silver. But I knew where you were going with it. All right, let's get into the other one. The cat's still in the box, but at least she's not chewing on shit right now. There's the scissors. All right. Get these pull tabs off. Come on. Get in there. There we go. All right. What do we got now? All right. Oh, so this would be my second earliest FF book. I think my lowest issue is 22, so that is obviously something to do. Like, if you don't know my collecting habits, I do one of my collecting goals. Obviously, I like to get them all, but the main goal is, or one of the main goals is to get at least one issue from every Silver Age Marvel book in the first, literally in the first, 10 issues or the single digits. Obviously, it doesn't work for some. Like Captain America starts at 100, but you sort of get the gist of it at least. But this is Fantastic Four issue 26. Obviously, this is quite a low grade, but it is complete. Got a little bit of marker and stuff on there, but that doesn't faze me. If you know me, I just love it as long as it's complete. But yeah, issue 26. So classic battle. So I believe this is, so this is FF and the Avengers versus the Hulk. But yeah, I pretty much everything except for FF, that's about the only series I don't have something like in the first 10 issues or a single digit. But yeah, 22 is my lowest, which I was actually quite surprised at. I'll get there eventually. So Fantastic Four, issue 38. This is the this is the second appearance of the Frightful Four. I think, yes, that's 38. I think it was like maybe 2 or 4 issues back was their first appearance. It's the second appearance of Medusa from the Inhumans. But it's also the first appearance of the Trapster. So obviously, Paste Pot Pete is a lot older character, was done several years before, but this is when he becomes the Trapster. So same character, different costume, different villain name. But it is a key element of that book. So Fantastic Four, issue 43. Hey, what's going on, Louis? Hope you're doing well, my brother. So 43. Once again, red cover, but a lot of yellow cover, partly yellow as well. But yeah, I do love a good floating head cover as well. So Fantastic Four, issue 75. Classic Jack Kirby cover. That's it, Louis. Kirby-tastic. It's quite a striking cover indeed. But yeah, very, very cool. A little bit of surfer action in the corner there too. So Fantastic Four, issue 79. Unless they picked a different color this time. Yeah, so I've got quite a decent chunk of actually FF books, obviously from like 22 to 100, but yeah, not any of the lower numbers, unfortunately. All right, so Fantastic Four, issue 88. Very, very nice. Fantastic Four, issue 87. Possibly the most offbeat ending of the year. The Power and the Pride. Very, very nice. All right, I'll put that one to the side for the moment. Fantastic Four, issue 93, Arena of Death. Yeah. Fantastic Four, issue number 98, Doomsday on the Moon. Yeah, so FF's very, very underrated, in my opinion. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't collect FF. Like, they want to go for, first Galactus, first Silver Surfer, first Black Panther. But so many cool covers, cool stories, especially in the Silver Age. But yeah, very, very cool indeed. All right, so we're going back, well, looks of it, back to Strange Tales again. So Strange Tales issue 148. So this is the first appearance of Kalu. So, and you also get the origin of the Ancient One told. Yeah, Silver Age FF is awesome, Jeff. Definitely. But Kalu apparently was like a friend and ally to the Ancient One. Obviously, a bit of, the usual betrayal sort of thing, became a villain. But this is his first appearance. All right, so Strange Tales issue 129 or 128, sorry, 128. So a slightly older one as well. So this is the first appearance of Demonicus, which is a follower or a disciple of Baron Mordor. You get a little bit of, looks like Scarlet Witch there as well. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. So it might be a fairly early appearance of those, possibly. It's a creepy sort of death sort of cover. So we've got Strange Tales issue 154. Clea must die. Strange Tales issue 156. Very awesome classic Doctor Strange cover there. This is the first appearance of Zom, an extra dimensional entity. As you can see, it says, yeah, so introducing Zom. What's on your shirt? Bam! Bit of Nightcrawler. All right, so this is a book that some people will probably recognize if you're into your Silver Age sort of keys. Strange Tales issue 158. So we're talking about cameo and first full appearances. 158 is the first full appearance of the Living Tribunal, which is one of, if not one of the most powerful entities in the whole of Marvel Comics. So we won't go into the cameo full appearance crap, but you can technically call it second appearance. But this is the money book out of the two. Not a lot of money, obviously. It's not a first Doctor Strange or something, but it is like if you're looking to pick up both, this is the more expensive of the two. All right, so Strange Tales issue 160. So it's also good that I actually got a few in numbered succession as well. There's somebody making some noise in the background there. I did mention it earlier, Jeff. I have a guy. Like, trust me, yeah. Like, I'm not just finding this shit in the wild, especially not over here. I have a guy who's one of the more prolific sort of sellers on our Facebook comic groups over here, the buy and sell groups. I've done many deals with him. If you look through a lot of my thing, anytime I mention sort of Facebook comic groups, something, generally it's from this guy. He'll literally reach out to me and say, look, do you need anything from this? Like, do you need some FF, or do you need some, Fantastic Four, Strange Tales, Avengers, X-Men, whatever sort of thing. And he'll literally he'll say, look, give me your CLZ list of what you've got, and I'll see if I've got any. And then he'll just say, look, do you want to pick and choose? And then I just pay him off over time. So, this deal wasn't as big as some of the ones I've done. Probably, I'd like to say maybe a year and a half ago. That is probably the live stream you really want to watch, because that had some decent books in it. I'm not saying these aren't decent. I'm just saying that had the big boy books in it. So we got Strange Tales issue 162. Yeah, so it's not as if I'm walking into a shop and buying these for like $10 a pop or anything like that, Jeff. Definitely not over here. All these sort of books, if you were to go and buy these at a convention or a walk into a shop and they actually had these in a back issue section, which is nearly non-existent now, they'd be asking probably $100 a pop for all these, even at low grades. So what issue was that? 162. So this is the second appearance of Contessa Valentina. Better than going after them one at a time with different sellers. Yeah, exactly, Jeff. Exactly. Like, obviously, if I'm hunting certain books and, obviously sort of bigger dollar key books and stuff like that, one here, one there. But it's always good with Michael, as I said, because he'll literally say, look, I've got a stretch. I've just gotten in a stretch of Silver Age X-Men books. Is there any do you want? And I can just sort of pick and choose, and then he just lets me pay it off over time. No time limits or anything like that. Obviously, I try to prefer to pay them off quicker rather than later, because I want the books quicker. But not something that he doesn't say, look, you've got 2 months or 6 months or whatever to pay him off. I just pay it every time, give him some money every time I get paid, and once it's all good and finished, he sends me a lot. He does allow me to, like, if he said, like, with this lot, he's like, if you get the halfway mark, do you want me to send half the books and you can do multiple things? And I'm just like, I have more fun doing it in a big lot. Pizza in oven. Got my beer in about 18 minutes, dinner time. I should be finished by then, Jane, hopefully. So Strange Tales, issue 166. Nothing Could Halt Voltorg. Or is he very Dr. Doom, Iron Man, Titanium Man, Crimson Dynamo-ish looking? Mixture of all the lot. So back to Doctor Strange, just Doctor Strange books, obviously not Strange Tales books. So Master of the Mystic Arts, Doctor Strange 174, The Power and the Pendulum. Very cool looking cover there. So I did mention earlier Satanish, which is the father of Damon Hellstrom and Satana. Not Zatanna with a Z, with an S. This is the first appearance of their father. So obviously they couldn't call it Mephisto because he's obviously his own character in his own right earlier in the in history. Couldn't call him Satan, obviously, because of obvious reasons. So they went with Satanish. So interesting. So very, very cool. Another Doctor Strange book, so 176, and I've noticed they've actually changed the header on this. So 176, so you can tell that they've actually done the header change, but probably another book hard to get in a high grade. Very, very cool all the same. All right, so going back again to Strange Tales. So Strange Tales issue 130. Sort of a lot of writing and stuff on that cover. All right, so this is the third appearance of Dormammu. But this is actually the first appearance of... Now, did they actually mention him by name on the cover? No, they did not mention him by name on the cover. So this is the first appearance of Caecilius, which if you watch the first Doctor Strange movie, that is the main bad guy, obviously besides Dormammu, but that is the main bad guy that Mads Mikkelsen plays. So very, very cool indeed to get that. We have Strange Tales issue 135. Hey, what's going on, Cuppy? Hope you're doing well, mate. He ran out of artwork. So 135. So this is the first appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D., the first appearance of Hydra, and also Nick Fury joins S.H.I.E.L.D., all in this issue. Well, they say team appearance of S.H.I.E.L.D., team appearance of Hydra, but yeah. You get where I'm going with there. Happy New Year to you too, Cuppy. Hope you're doing well, brother. All right, getting towards the end. So we've got Strange Tales issue 138. So this is the first appearance of Eternity. As I mentioned, there was the first cover appearance earlier, but yeah, actual first appearance of Eternity in this. So a bit of a key element to this book here. Nothing really sizable. Like you guys could probably pick it up for what, $15-20 over there, I would assume, and I can't even remember how much it cost me, but I do like my cosmic characters. So last Strange Tales book. So this is issue 144, The Day of the Druid. Now this is another interesting one where they've sort of the MCU sort of flipped the script. So this book is the first appearance of Jasper Sitwell. I can't remember the actor's name, but obviously, yeah, he was part of the Hydra movement, especially in the Captain America and the Avengers movies. Now he's played by that Weasley guy with the glasses. Now in the comics, Jasper Sitwell was a high-level interrogator for S.H.I.E.L.D., where there's obviously in the MCU, he was just that Weasley nerdy guy that thought he was good, and yeah, you've all seen it. You all know who I'm talking about. All right, so last 3 books. So as I mentioned, it was predominantly Strange Tales FF. Obviously, a little bit of a smattering of Doctor Strange in there as well, obviously, because he forgot that it changes to Doctor Strange. But I do have a couple of issues of Avengers, sort of early-ish too. So we have Avengers issue. So talking about first 10 issues or single digits, we do have issue number 7. Now, I'm a little bit confused with this one because the key element to this book is first Rick Jones, who's more obviously known for, the Hulk universe, as Bucky Barnes. And I'm like, okay, is he just parading or, pretending he's Bucky Barnes? I'm not sure, obviously, if anybody's actually read the story and may know. That's, that would be interesting to find that out. Holy smokes, number 7. Yeah, not finished yet, Tate. Nothing super huge, so, but. So, Avengers issue number 6. Now, this is the first team appearance of the Masters of Evil, but the big key part of that is first Baron Zemo. Now, I don't know. I know there's been a lot of iterations of Baron Zemo, so they're calling this, I think, first Baron Heinrich Zemo. So it's probably Heinrich, Helmet, quite a few other Zemos. I don't know whether there was one in the Golden Age with Captain America or anything like that, but yeah, first Baron Zemo, very, very cool. And this now is my earliest Avengers, and it is Avengers issue 3. And this is actually a battle of Avengers versus Hulk and Namor. So yeah, that is now my earliest. Like I'd love an Avengers number 1, but right price, right time, and somebody letting me pay it off. But that is it. So nice. I think it was close to 50 books. I can do that now. Excuse me. Yeah, close to 50 book haul. I'm not going to talk dollars and things like that because that's not part of my thing. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody who's been in the chat. I greatly appreciated you guys hanging out with me and just sharing some cool back issues, because that's what I love to do. Silver and Bronze Age is my thing. I'm slowly going through, the notes are over there, but I'm slowly going through what I want to do this year in accordance to books I want to try and pick up and goals and things like that. So hopefully that video will be released fairly shortly. I will be doing a special cameo when the video gets released, is another thing, but on another infamous or famous, whatever you want to call them, YouTube channel, hopefully, as long as this all works out and don't get too hot and things like that. We'll be doing a bit of a shopping with Spidey sort of experience, but from the other person's point of view. So that hopefully will be released in the next week or so. Obviously out back on the weekend, the usual sort of stuff. So keys are cool with the back issues. Where is that? Yeah, and that's you're famous. Thanks, Christina. No, I was talking about the other person. But yeah, I'll so there'll still be a little bit of content coming out, and then because I go back to work. So what's today? Wednesday. I go back to work Monday. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back into a sort of semi-regular routine with trying to release a couple of videos, or at least a video per week, instead of letting it span out too much and get in my mind and I'm like stressing about it. But I'll work it out one way or another. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I greatly appreciate it. Obviously, if you're watching this on the rewind, hit the thumbs up and leave a comment as well if you'd like to. That would be greatly appreciated. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed already, I've noticed I'm very stagnant at the moment, so I don't know. But I'm sort of looking at my analytics just quickly, and I notice it's like, okay, 70% of the people watch my content are subscribed, and like 25 to 30% are not subscribed. So I'm like, doesn't cost anything, just hit the button, whether people just realize that it's lapsed and it's just you're not subscribed anymore or whatever. But yeah, just a small thing. If you could just double check, that would be greatly appreciated. But AKA Mark. No? Yes, no marks. But yeah, be kind, be safe, and
The word jaundice comes from the French word jaune, which means yellow.
and take care.